But through these beings that went to these different worlds, that went to these different places, and adapted their lifestyle to what was appropriate for them to evolve and to learn and to study. Many of those who escaped the war came upon many of these planets and wanted to share in the wisdom that these beings, who were truly about peace and harmony, wanted to share with them as well. And there was a continuity developing here. More civilizations were understanding the big picture. They were understanding that there is answers beyond war. There is answers beyond conflict. And so what you may call as a truth movement truly happened across the galaxy. To where such divinity, such harmony aligned itself, that all of the center of the galaxy, between the center of the galaxy and the middle rim of your galaxy, is immersed in light. Why do you think that is? Because that is the epicenter of balance. That is the epicenter of harmony. To where all of these different star systems came together through consciousness, bringing themselves closer to the galactic center, bringing them closer to the middle rim of the galaxy itself, so they could immerse themselves in light through these teachings. And those who did not want to allow themselves to experience harmony in this way, who wanted to stay conflicted, who wanted to stay out of balance, flocked away to the outer rim of the galaxy, to where there was none of this light. So there was a convergence that took place here during the center of the galaxy alignment, to where all of these star systems actually migrated to the center of the galaxy. They went out of the position that they were in, and through consciousness itself moved up the spiral and came into the center of the galaxy, came into the center of the mid-rim, to where there was this light. That is why when you look on your star maps and you look at your galaxy, you see such immense light between the center of the galaxy and the mid-rim. This is truly the understanding of those civilizations that wanted to harmonize. Many, 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 many years ago, long time ago, the center of the galaxy was not that bright. It was very dim, shall we say, and only a very small portion of the galaxy itself was immersed in light. Because again, the beings needed themselves to enter a state to where they wanted to evolve, to understand that they were part of this incarnation for the experience, for the understanding of being able to conquer within themselves, knowing themselves, conquering past the conflicts, entering a state of acceptance, entering a state of knowing themselves, and the desire to succeed, the desire to go past all conflict. This is truly what happened with many different civilizations. Many of you on your planet may also wonder about the Pleiadians, because again, the Pleiadians are well talked about on your planet. Many of the channels that are on your planet right now truly have very strong connections with the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians themselves are that of a very harmonious race in this now moment, yes. But they had a very dark past, as did many of us. Many different civilizations, from the Syrians, from the Arcturians, from the Andromedans, from the Rigels, from the Orions, from the Draconians, from all of these different forms of beings that exist within your galaxy, had a hard time. Pleiades themselves, the Pleiadians themselves, have had, shall we say, a bumpy road, a bumpy ride with your star system, because they had such a commitment to bringing this star system into the understanding of being its guide, of being the protectors of Earth. And in that sense, as they knew the cosmic plan with Earth, they decided to back out and allow Earth to be, shall we say, put under new management for this experience. But again, this is why the Pleiadians are so talked about, were and are still talked about at this timing, is because they had such a strong involvement with your planet. But the Pleiadians themselves have reached points of harmony, of peace. There are still other Pleiadians that still go into darkness, yes, but again, they're still learning. They're still going into their learning curve to bring themselves into a form of acceptance. And not just the Pleiadians, but many other different races as well. So as we were talking about earlier, the understanding of how everything is interconnected here, to how you could relate the galaxy to your planet. Much of the conflict, much of the karma that has been happening on your planet was originally rooted to the conflict within this galaxy. Just, shall we say, configured differently through this collective karma to help other civilizations understand a particular lesson. Now again, it is important for Earth to understand this because Earth that itself is truly going through one of the deepest forms of duality in this galaxy. And so doing, the karma itself roots from what the galaxy once went through. Everything that you're experiencing on your world, the galaxy went through at one point. Everything that you are going through in this world right now is part of that connection. Now again, other planets out there have different ground rules, to where it seems that there is a limitation of free will. Again, these are incarnational archetypes that are implanted onto a certain collective matrix so that a particular experience can happen, can take place for certain types of souls, shall we say, that wish to incarnate on this world to have such an experience. We shall give an example of a particular world that is beyond your Earth, that is beyond your solar system, as we are not talking about Earth here. There is no current name for what we can give to this planet, but in the idea of this planet itself, it is very much that of a controlled populace that is not going through the types of duality that you are going through. It is what you would consider more of a moderate challenge, to where the experiences they are going through is that they are participating as a tribal culture, as they are truly participating as one mind, to where they are truly conscious. But because of their lack of emotion, because of their lack of development in that sense through their genetic templates that only allow a certain amount of limitation within their bodies to be expressed throughout this reality, they are having a hard time coping with certain situations in their reality based on the restriction of limitation they are experiencing within their way of life, within their genetic templates. And so we tell them stories about the planet Earth. And so we tell them exactly what you individuals yourselves, you beings yourselves, are going through on Earth. And we would like to mention that Earth is one of their favorite topics, that they enjoy watching you, that they enjoy truly observing the understandings of how Earth is coming together. And through everything that you are going through right now, you are teaching this civilization to unlock parts of themselves that they thought originally could not be locked because of their believability and their thinking and understanding of their own limitations. To expand themselves further, to see how all the darkness that you are going through on Earth can in some form create a configuration with these particular beings going through their particular experiences on this particular world so that they can evolve themselves further. There is not the understanding of mass war on their planet in that sense to which you have been through on yours. Again, a mediocre experience. But they have learned much from you because we have told them much from you. And they are very excited for every single one of you right now. They are truly astonished to how many of you are, shall we say, moving through the tunnels of darkness and entering the light. They are truly amazed by every single one of you, of all the dark experiences that they could not even possibly conceive of how some beings like you can go through the darkest, deepest forms of darkness itself and come into the light. It is miraculous to them. Because even though they have their conflicts, it is very minor to what you are experiencing. And so when we explain the conflicts that you are having, they are astonished. And it encourages them. And it inspires them to truly improve themselves, to truly improve their society, so that they can go beyond the limitations of what their genetics even may tell them. To go beyond the experience of what is beyond the shell of a construct with incarnation, and moving on into a greater plateau of existence. This is what they're doing now. They're expanding themselves. And long ago, surely before we came along to help out these beings, they were very much, quote unquote, in the dark. They didn't know how to evolve themselves further.